All right. For today, I'm gonna be trying to discuss not lore, the story of Black Ops 3 in, as you can see, this very professional setup, and as you can tell, I have learned Photoshop. Um, so this is gonna be very loose. I might actually not have the things here that I need, but let's start off. So for the first mission is Black Ops, and it's basically your character here, you and your buddy Hendrix, my boy here. Um, they go and try to rescue some doctor guy, and then the doctor guy is like, hey, I need you to help my other guy, and then the guys are like, okay, fine. It's like, okay, fine, and then you rescue the, and as you're going along to the mission, or no, yeah, after you rescue the two guys, uh, this, uh oh, okay, um, this guy Taylor, um, and his crew, two of them are really not need to be mentioned, but hers more mentionable. Um, his posse includes her come in and they kind of take care of everything. You don't get to do much because they're super cool badasses because they have robot limbs. But I see as you get to the end, your buddy boy drives a car pretty shittily, and you shoot, and every bullet acts like a small nuclear strike for some no for some yeah. It's just, I then but this dumb idiot crashes car. But it's okay because you think that's bad, but then it's okay because some drop ship comes down. Um, where's my paint? Some chopper comes down and picks up Hendrix, and oh, you're tied to Hendrix. Okay, Hendrix, and escapes because the landing zone was too hot. So Hendrix is yeeted out of there, and then you're left like, oh, and then because due to plot convenient charts, there's an explosion happened to go off before you could get in, and that good out. But however, so and then a bunch of robots come and they're like beep boop pop, and then they come over and they take your skinny little arms and one of your legs. Where is the erase? And they rip off an arm, rip off that arm, and they break one of your legs by just doing a karate chop. And then your guy is like, ah, but it's okay because you're not, no. Taylor's like, ah, and his posse, and then the robot goes, ah, and then the robot's dead. But Hendrix takes care. He's like, okay, you're gonna be Robot Man now. And it's like, ah, because his arm just got ripped off. Um, and that leads into the next mission, which isn't too important. It's just you getting trying out your new robot powers because you are Robot Man, and that's it. I guess it's also an introductory to. No, yeah, I guess you count. No, um, to his him and his posse really, and you kind of and it's just boring. Um, third mission, which is in the darkness. So basically, after you do the tutorial mission, um, you and Buddy Boy Hendrix go for 5 years, just doing ops and I guess never actually ranking up. But once the player, gets control of the character 5 years later, that's when you can actually start ranking up in the world for some reason. Um, so, so basically, what's in the it, it this is when you first come across this group called the 54 Immortals, who are just people. Because there was this disaster in Singapore. There's always a problem in third world countries in these Call of Duty games. It's never first world. It's always third. But yeah, you guys go in there to get some data because some CIA site there went dark. But you get there and you come across the bodies of the CIA members that were in there, and they're all butchered like the 54 Immortals did it. But it turns out the 54 Immortals were trying to get into there, so they couldn't have done it. But the last people to get in there was Taylor and his posse. So there's like so Hendricks is like, what? That can't be true. So you go to the next mission, which is to then get the data that was not at the site but moved to somewhere else. I think, I don't know. The whole story is just so fucking dumb. But so yeah, you and Buddy Boy Hendricks go to this other site with a friend of Hendricks, but turns out friend of Hendricks actually aligned with the 50 more Mortals more. And this is when you run across her and her brother or something, and then the bad stuff happens, but she gets snoped out, but her brother dies, and then you go through the mission, and then that's when y'all learn that this man bad now, and his posse bad now for some reason. And then you go over to the next mission, which is when you go down into a pit, which is another CIA black site, which turns out to be where the Singapore disaster happened. I'll have to go to depth that. I'm just gonna briefly brush over this mission because this is kind of a major point that they brush over, but not really. So basically, you go down there and you come across all these test tube subjects that were the experiment for the D9, which is what allows you to do this robot stuff. And you guys, whoa, dang, these guys are bad. The CIA, why are they doing this? And then you come across some big tube, and you find one forgettable name in Taylor's posse. It's her, and he's like controlling all the robots, but you're not, which is weird because it's like if you try to control a hive mind, then you go boo, your brain die. He's doing that, which is weird, and it acts like he's being controlled by some entity. So you shoot him up, and he dies in a very boring way. And then Hendricks goes and touches. Imagine this is the forgettable name guy, and he goes over, touches his head to interact with the D9 to pull the information out. And that's like the super taboo thing because like you'll kill them as soon as you do this, and it's not a fun way to go for the person because someone else is in their mind. Anyway, Hendricks doesn't say what happens. He just learns where they're going, where Taylor's posse is going next, and then but there's something wrong with him now because this is where I have to get into it. Okay, so at this CAA testing site, this guy Corvus was born. The game describes it as the minds of all the other test subjects as they are coagulated into one. And I guess glitching system, bam, Corvus is born, and he was basically there just to provide a way for those test subjects to calm down, imagining them in a frozen forest. But basically, Corvus don't know why he's born, so he goes. And anyone who interacts with him basically gets corrupted by him. They have a D9. first place. And I really should have brought more visuals. Whatever. That's what he's doing. He's corrupted the entirety of Taylor's posse, and now Hendrix. So Hendrix is starting to go somewhat mad, even though he acts the most sane. In all honesty, just besides getting random anger swings that are warranted. But that's where Corvusborn. So basically, on your way out, there's Hendrix. On your way out of the pit, she comes back because you didn't kill her in the last mission because you're dumb, and she starts flooding the whole place through pit and water. But you got that's wrong. Okay, I'm just dumb. You guys get out, and yeah, it's just so bad. Oh, that was the important thing that happened in the mission. Okay, so basically while down there, you also learn that Taylor and his posse breached the locations of every CAA secret zone or whatever to the world. So that's bad. And then the next mission you go and save your girlfriend. Kane, because you like her now, and just like I don't want to do this because it's bad, and you're just like no, and goes punch, and then it's like why would you do that? It's like I'm sorry. It's like okay, and then you rescue her. It's just not important. Next mission, and then you go over to Egypt because like that's where Taylor's posse was headed. Some shit, and then you come across the one of the guys you rescued at the beginning, and then because you're there to interrogate. I think another one of the guys you rescued at the beginning behind you. It's like why are you doing this? And then you have to help out the Egyptian man. So okay, I formulated my thoughts now. Okay, so you go over to Egypt because the guy who may know about the Singapore disaster, which is why you went down to that pit. He knows something about that. So you go over there to interrogate him before Taylor's crew gets to him, because Taylor's crew also wants to know what was going on with that, because they're all controlled by Corvus. So like who wants to know about that? But before you can really interrogate him, you manage to slip on a tracker without his knowledge. It just comes up down the mission. It's not really important. Just in case you don't get to interrogate him, which you don't, surprisingly enough. But yeah, they'll defend the Egyptian army with one guy, and then next mission you come as you go to get the one guy you're trying to interrogate back. She comes out with a giant Metal Gear robot, and basically you have a really boring boss fight with her, and then you player character goes hack into a mainframe, and Alex Jones reference, whatever. And then you're like, and then you then get corrupted by Corvus and learn about the Frozen Forest, and kind of learn what this is about. But you're like, oh, this is kind of confusing. So I'm dead now. I also allows you to learn where Taylor's at next. So you go over to where Taylor is, and you have this really boring mission where you're trying to get to Taylor, but lo and behold, you fail. Yeah, right. Yeah, you fail, but you do come across the last member of Taylor's posse and kill him, and you kick him out a window and he dies being impaled, even though he shouldn't have been impaled due to the angle he's being kicked out. But you know what? It's Call of Duty. Their in-game cutscenes sure shit. And it's like, you didn't have to die. And it's true, he really didn't have to. And he's like, a punch. He's like, ow. What do you do that for, man? And it's like, yeah, you're being corrupting. He's like, no, I'm not. It's like, yeah, we both are. It's like, and it's like, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm making this more confusing than it needs to be. I don't even need to go through this. Okay. So basically, all right. So you head over to the final place, not the final place. So you head over to some tower for some reason. I guess that's where Taylor was headed, because I guess he just knew where he was going for some reason. I don't know how. I don't know how this information came about. You just get it because you didn't get anything because you didn't scan final member. So whatever. You climb this tower with you and Hendrix, and you confront Taylor, and you beat him in a boss fight, and which is somewhat more interesting, kind of. The game's super easy if you have camo. So basically, you confront him. No, because after the boss fight, because during the basically, Taylor hijacks gunship, uses gunship to try to kill you. You take down gunship. Gunship almost lands on top of you. Your arm, this arm gets impaled by a piece of metal, and I guess you feel pain in the robot arm. I mean, sure, I'm sure they allow you to feel stuff, but feeling pain, yeah, that's great for the soldiers who are going to war. Let them feel pain so they can't fucking move. But yeah, so you get impaled in the arm, and your other robot arm is too stupid to go and grab and rip out the pole, even though you've been stabbed in the arm before and just ripped out the thing just fine. Whatever. So Taylor comes over. He's like, I have to kill you to stop to stop you from going after me. He's like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. And he's like, okay. And then he rips out his own DNI, which kills him, because he can't live without that. He's like, oh, dang, he actually stood up to them, because Taylor's like, I'm the only one who stood up to the Corvus, man, and you, the actual player, not the player character, but the player is like, bruh, I've been fighting this guy since the beginning, whatever. And it's important that Taylor rips out his DNI. I'll get into this later. So now Hendrik, so Taylor gone. So you're still impaled in the arm, and Hendrik is like, hey, I'm fully corrupted by Corvus now. Bye. And then he fucks off in the gunship, because I guess you didn't destroy it, even though you literally shot out its engines with a minigun. But whatever. And you go over to this place called Zurich, because I guess Corvus is going to corrupt everyone there, even though you go there to... Okay, so it's confusing because Mr. No, okay, never mind. I know why he goes there. He goes to Zurich, the Corvus controlled by Hendrix, or other way around, goes to Zurich because Corvus is trying to find the man who created the whole first D9 project, and he's in Zurich, and he's basically doing the same thing in Zurich as he was doing in Singapore. That's why they go there. So you and your girlfriend, Kane, over to Zurich, and you fight through a bunch of robots in a super shitty way, and you get into the facility, and then there's this gas chamber area, and you're like, whoa, this is the thing that caused the Singapore disaster. we have to stop this. And then you go scan a panel, and it said, just I forgot to mention at the beginning, but Kane, she does not have a DNI. There is no way for her to connect to anything unless she's looking at a tablet. However, each and every single fucking time your person scans something and sends it over to her, she instantaneously gets it like she has a DNI. But she doesn't. Okay, she doesn't. So, she asks you to scan the operating systems of a gas chamber, and just remember, you scan it and send the information over to her. She doesn't look at anything. Not a tablet, not a screen, not anything. But she gets the information from you without having a DNI. And she's like, oh no, the separate. And she learns from the information you give her without having a DNI that the gas chamber is going to explode, cover the whole city. It's going to be another Singapore disaster. However, when she gets into the gas chamber, the systems are all nominal, but she gets locked in, gets gassed, dies. But before she dies, she's like, the Corvus can make you see things that aren't there. But she doesn't have a DNI, so there's no fucking way to being the fucking only thing. Whatever, she dies, and then you're like, Solid Snake, Anguish, Punish, whatever. And you walk down some stairs, and then Hendrix is not Hendrix. Where's Hendrix? Hendrix is they're holding the leader of the whole thing, and you learn that wow, he's doing it all again, and then at this point Hendrix is fully corrupted by a Corvus now, and your card's like, hey, if you do anything, I'll shoot you. And then he's like, and he asks and he asks the leader of the whole, I'm gonna call it Corvus Project. Corvus Project, like, why'd you create me? And the guy's like, I didn't mean to. And it's like, that's bad. Pew, shoots him in the back, and the guy's like, pew, shoot him in the head. And then, Hendrix is dead, and Corvus is not there. And then you're just like, oh, I promised Kane I would stop this virus because you're the last one to have it. So you shoot yourself in the mouth. This is important. You shoot yourself in the head. So this brings you to the White Forest. No, god damn it, the Frozen Forest. Because anyone who comes into whoever connects with Corvus, he can bring them to this place. It's a place to live, as he calls it, a place to live on after death, if he allows it. This is important. If he allows it. So you get there, and then Hendrix is like, hey, hey, glad for being here. And you're like, piss off, Hendrix. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, hey, I'm Corvus, you should, not be mean. And it's like, piss off. And then it's like, okay. And then you follow him through the Frozen Forest, and then you come across Corvus. Come across Corvus, and he has wrapped, and he controls some trees, and he's holding the leader of the Corvus Project, by the arms and legs with trees. He's controlling the trees, by the way, and asks him, well, was I created? And he gives the same answer, you were a glitch, lol. And then he's like, not good enough. And then, just say no, controlling the trees. Why is there an alarm going off? What the hell? Okay, so he uses the trees to absolutely brutal murder man because he rips the arms and legs off the guy. And then, where does Taylor come in? I think Taylor came in a bit before. So basically, no, this is what Taylor. And all of a sudden, Taylor, this man, comes in out of nowhere, and he's like, I must be a glitch in the system because my ripped out my D9 can be here. However, what I think the reason why Taylor is there is, one, when he ripped out his D9, that's when he technically died to Corvus, so therefore he's there, but not really there. I don't know. Just because because he's still alive a couple seconds after he ripped out his D9, But because he ripped out Xenia, that's when he died. Therefore, Corvus brought him there, but Corvus kept him alive. This, because he's fine. Or he's just a manifestation of which you create in your mind there, your play character, as a way to help cope through this. So basically, you go through with Frozen Forest, kind of doing lame shit, and then when you get to the end, you come back into the main world, and so basically you go to a main control console, and when you get, guys, back up a bit, right? Okay, so I really should have just done a video with the cutscenes. I really should have. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, you go through the Frozen Forest, and then when you finally beat the boss, you wake up back in the real world, and you're by a central control console. But Corvus is walking over to you, about to fully corrupt you. But then Taylor comes out of nowhere in the real world and holds him back while you delete the mainframe, which is also deleting, because I guess even though you shot yourself in the head, kill yourself, you're alive and well, perfectly fine. But you get over and you delete your neural network, which is delete any and all traces of Corvus, because this is the last place he connected himself to your mind. And I'm assuming, and this is where I really think that Taylor is just a manifestation of your will to beat Corvus, because Taylor just comes out of nowhere. And then you shamble out of the building as your neural network's being deleted. And when you get out there, some Zurich guy is like, "What's your name?" And then you go, "Taylor." And then that's when the game cuts out, because that's when your neural network gets deleted. So I think you die there. And the reason why you call yourself Taylor is because you never had a name to begin with. And so you take over Taylor's identity. Whatever. You know what? I mostly made this video for Zeke. I realize I probably just complicated things a hell of a lot more. So Zeke, if you want a more detailed explanation of how I see it, just talk to me about it, because that way I can explain it in better detail. Because this is a really shitty way to go about it. Okay, well, this is the end of the video, so, bye.